The whole point to manifestation is to get into the state of the wish fulfilled, right? That's how we get our dreamy desires out there in the world. We maintain a specific state of consciousness. Now, we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to hold the state all the time. But for the most part, we want that new state to become dominant. So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, Kim, how do I maintain the state? How do I stay in the wish fulfilled? Well, my question is, how do you know that you've ever been in the wish fulfilled? So today we're going to talk about 3 questions that you can ask yourself to figure out what state you're in, and hopefully your answers are exactly lining up to what you're manifesting. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope you are. Yes, I hope so. I'm choosing for you. How about that? I'm intending that you are. I would like to warn you really quick, and especially if you're new here, you need the warning if you're wearing earbuds or whatever they're called. My dog Poop is chilling with me today, and she's snoring up a storm. So you might hear her in the background, and I apologize. She's a loud one. She's a loud one. I don't want to kick her out of the room. She brings such nice ambiance. If you are new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I am obsessed with getting what I want and getting it in a very quick fashion. And I want to know everything there is to know about manifestation. And if you line up with any of those things and you can handle this sass, well, then I highly encourage you to please hit that subscribe button and stick around and let's be friends. Most importantly, let me know in the comments that you have subscribed. I want to know who my new friends are. Today, we are talking about 3 questions that you can ask yourself to see what state you're really in. Now, listen, with these questions, let me give the disclaimer. Don't panic. Don't panic. If you respond to these questions and you realize you're not into the wish fulfilled, you're not stepping into the version of yourself that has your desire, don't panic. But let's just take that conscious action and get back in it and get back to being who you want to be. But this video truly is geared towards anyone who is not happy with 3D results and you can't understand why we don't see what we want in reality. Well, then let's check your state of consciousness. Question 1. What story am I telling right now? Yeah, what story? What story are you catching yourself thinking, even throughout your day? But right now, what story are you telling? The story that you've been mentally on repeat with is the story that is indicating what state you're really in. So whatever story is on mental repeat, life sucks, life is hard, this is taking forever, I'm afraid it'll never happen. That's who you are. That is revealing to you what your dominant and dwelling state is. We don't want that. We want a new story of this is getting easier and easier. I'm seeing evidence every single day that, who I am is reflecting back to me in reality. And by that statement, I mean, you start seeing evidence that your 3D is changing and is bringing you to your desire. Number 2, how do I feel about myself in this moment? How do I feel about myself in this moment? The way you feel about yourself is a really good indicator of what your self-concept is. And for example, if we're manifesting a specific person, and we're finding ourselves on the regular not liking our appearance, not liking our personality, consistently, beating ourselves up because, oh, why did I say this in that last conversation? Why did I say this to this person? They probably think I'm so stupid. I'm an idiot. I hate my hair. I hate my face. I don't like my body. If we are catching ourselves consistently thinking about ourselves in that fashion, it is having an effect on your specific person manifestation. And more than likely, whatever it is you are manifesting, it's having an effect on it. Because if you're walking around with the feeling about yourself that you're gross, well, that's a good indicator that you don't feel that great about yourself. You don't feel good enough. And when we don't feel good enough, well, that has to be reflected back to us. So in other words, if it was a SP manifestation and you're walking around with the knowing that you can't stand yourself, eventually, specific person, if they haven't already, is going to reflect back evidence of you not being good enough for them. Again, I'm not trying to tell anybody that you got to walk around being conceited, right? Conceited, it's kind of a yucky word, but you can love yourself. You can know that you're worthy and deserving of love. You're beautiful inside and out, handsome inside and out. You're already amazing as this version of yourself. And the more you step into that, more you step into the knowing that you are more than enough. You are good enough. The more you get that reflection and the more your specific person sees you that way. So what you feel about yourself from moment to moment is telling you what state you're in. It's also telling you what beliefs you're having. Just saying. Kind of like a little bonus to that number 2 is, think of the example of feeling confident, feeling secure about yourself, about life, about what you're manifesting, versus someone feeling anxious, someone doubting, someone fearing. When we step into a self-loathing, listen, everything emanates from us. So when we're thinking poorly about ourselves, coupled with feeling doubtful and insecure, not confident, not worthy, that must be reflected back. So again, I don't want you to think that, for example, if you're someone who, you're thinking about getting your eyebrows tattooed, I don't want you to think that simply because you would like to tweak those eyebrows a little bit, that means immediately that you don't feel good enough, right? There is a minimal gray area in that you can know that you're more than enough for love and that you can look in that mirror and love yourself, but it's okay to tweak your eyebrows, to, zhuzh the hair. That's very surface level, and that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to, on a moment-by-moment basis, how you, on the regular, feel about yourself. It matters. It's indicating you're in a state of consciousness where what? Where we probably don't feel so confident that the person we're manifesting would choose us. Well, why would they? Not while you're walking around feeling not good enough, not worthy for the relationship that you may be manifesting. See what I'm saying? Number 3, what are you expecting to happen next? What do you think is the most likely thing that's going to happen next in your reality? What do you really think is going to happen? Now, I am not asking you, what do you think the bridge of incidents is? But what's your expectation of your next moment in reality? Are you expecting this to take long? Do you think this is going to be a long-winded journey? Do you think everything is working out in your favor? Are you dreading? Are you bracing for impact for your next moment in reality? If you assume the place of rejection, failure, a really long delay of linear time and when your manifestation can happen, if that's what you're assuming, well, that's telling you what your state is, it's definitely not the state of the wish fulfilled. The goal here is to shift that thinking into expecting everything to work out for you. Everything is always working out for you, right? Everything is working in your favor. Everything is leading you to your desire, and also being open for the unfolding of that desire. I'm going to add in a couple of bonus questions to ask. So the bonus one, we'll say number 4 here, is what am I currently identifying with? What am I identifying with? You see, your identity is your state of consciousness. It's the version of yourself that you currently believe you are. So what are you identifying with? Struggle, the version of you that struggles, the version of you that is hoping the manifestation happens, hoping, wishing, you're hanging on as long as you can, hoping for things to change. Or are you the one assuming that I'm the one that things work out for? I don't have to hope. I know things are going to change. I know I'm going to get my desire. I know I am. I know my manifestation will happen. Another way of looking at that question is, who am I showing up as? Who do I show up as every single day when I wake up in the morning and I go about getting myself ready before I leave for work or before I go to school or before I go downstairs and handle the kids? Who am I really? Is it the same person who started this journey? Or am I the person that manifested the circumstances I have right now? Or am I the person that comfortably knows I am the new self? I am the version of me that is in a, if you're manifesting an SP, a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. That's who I am. And if that doesn't help get you into the new identity, asking yourself the question of, what do I think I would look like or handle myself as if the manifestation was here? If I was living that manifestation right here in this moment, if my specific person was sitting right next to me on the couch, how would I be carrying myself? What would I expect from my specific person? It's practicing in imagination as being the version of you who already is successful, already has the desire. It's really asking that simple question. I know some people really struggle with that. Some people struggle with the idea of, I don't know, I've never had what I'm manifesting. I don't know what I would feel like. Yes, you do. You are thinking too logically. Yes, you do. How do you know you want the desire? What is it within you that you're trying to satisfy? And that's why you want the desire. There is something within you that wants it. What is it? Even if you have the generic answer of, I think it'll make me happy. Okay. Would you still be showing up to reality, tolerating things that maybe you're tolerating right now that you know damn well it's not what you're manifesting? Let me give you an example. When you're manifesting a specific person and your specific person right now is not contacting you, or they only interact with you when you reach out to them. That's how you keep the conversation going between the two of you. You reach out. You take that action. Is that what you're manifesting? Are you manifesting a relationship where you have to pursue a specific person? I'm assuming probably not. At least a large portion manifesting an SP are manifesting being pursued, being wanted, desired by their specific person. So are you still in the identity of, I have to do this or they won't talk to me? So in other words, you're not changing. You're staying in the old identity. And again, this really isn't about necessarily the actionable steps. It's about what you're really believing about yourself. If I don't text them, they're never going to text me back. They're never going to initiate. Is that the identity that brings in the relationship where you're pursued? Probably not. So we got to shift that state. Number 5, and the final question. What evidence am I looking for in my reality? You see, your focus reflects your state. What you're focused on, your focused attention, is what you're aware of. And what we stay focused on is telling us who we are, and it can then produce that in reality. So in other words, if you're out in reality constantly hunting down signs or evidence of what you're manifesting versus being someone who knows, I've done enough here. I've done enough. I am now the version of myself who knows my manifestation will happen. And you're just simply out and about, driving around in your car, on your way to work, on your way to go shopping, on your way to pick up the kids, or on your way to school in general. And boom, you notice a sign. You notice something that is your specific person's name, or maybe the dollar amount that you are manifesting. You see it on a sign somewhere, a literal sign. You start seeing reflection, evidences of what you've been focused on. That's completely different than someone every day looking out into the world, hoping to see something that is a reflection of their manifestation. The person out here searching, you're in a state of lack. And I know that sucks to hear. I know that does. But we can change that. We can stop doing that. We can stop going out and searching for evidence that things are working, and instead go internal. Focus on knowing who you are as source and the identity of who you're choosing to be. Focus there. When we want evidence, we want signs, ask yourself these questions again. There's your evidence of what state you're in and who you're being. So therefore, you're going to get what you want in reality. Focus there. Not out here in 3D looking to see, oh, am I going to see some synchronicities today? I'm going to see 333, 444, 111, 222. Oh God, whole day, no synchronicities. This isn't working. Yeah, we don't want to ever be that. That's not who we want to be. We're not manifesting signs, right? We're manifesting our full manifestation. So those were the 5, supposed to be 3. I gave you 2 bonus questions that you can ask yourself to check in with yourself, to know what state you're in, to know who you are. Because remember, we manifest who we are, not necessarily what we want. And if you're brand new and you just heard that incorrectly, you might have just got triggered. So let me help remind you, you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. And you have the free will choice to be any version of yourself that you want to be. That's the beauty of this. It's also the paradox and sometimes pain in the ass. But who you're walking around carrying yourself is exactly what you're going to get for a reflection out in reality. So if you're walking around identifying, focusing on, whether maybe you're affirming, visualizing, scripting, that you are the version of yourself that's, if you're manifesting an SP, in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Or you are the most abundant version of yourself who doesn't have to worry about money at all anymore. You have so much money coming in from multiple sources that you get to walk around feeling free to buy whatever you want or invest whatever you want. You have total freedom in that department. Or maybe you're someone who's manifesting both of those things and even more, right? We can manifest in any area of our life. The idea is to start identifying as the person who has it, who has the desire. And yes, it is perfectly okay to know that you will have your manifestation. The tense doesn't matter unless you think it matters. Just saying. But there is a big difference between someone who is identifying with, I don't have it. It's not here yet. I don't think this is ever going to work. My life sucks. I have to struggle at everything. Blah, blah, blah. Big difference in states of consciousness. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.